I request respected Waja Siddique Azad Baloch. He is the Secretary General of Baloch People's Congress, Baloch political party. So they have been raising the Baloch issues at international forums, and he has presented the issue of Balochistan and why there are abuse of rights and why the people are victims of enforced disappearances.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. So
everybody can hear you, but not the organizer.
Oh yeah. Hi, Shun. And how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, thank you, Aileen, for that. I've just arrived late. Thanks to Shun letting me know about everything. So I just see that Amina Masood is there. Has she spoken already, or would it be possible for her to
please.
describe her experience? I think is she the lady whose husband has disappeared?
Eileen is the first speaker at this time, so not yet.
Yeah. Hello. So I request you all, please, we will give you time at the end for questions and answers. At this time, I request respected Waja Siddique Azad Baloch. So please, sir. Yes, sir.
Will there be other speakers? Okay, I'll wait. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, protest and awareness campaigns have been launched all over the world, including in Pakistan, regarding enforced disappearances in Balochistan, and this process is still going on. Conscious people all over the world have been informed through free media about the brutal treatment of Baloch people in Pakistan and the genocide of the Baloch people and their eviction from their land while violating basic human rights. What kind of inhuman tactics are being used for this? One of which is kidnapping.
Hello. There were some tech issues.
Looks like there is some issues in our host side. So you, I think you better to go, right? You don't have enough time now. Eileen, you have to leave, right?
Yes, I have to leave. I have to leave. But if Amina will speak, I'll try to listen to her.
Yeah, I will, Ellie. Actually,
Yes.
there was some tech issue, but now I have resolved it.
The organizer has a problem.
Yeah. So if it's okay, then
No, Mr. Munir, we don't hear you again. He sent a text. Also disappeared. Disappeared.
I hope not enforced disappeared.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of inhuman tactics are being used
Leave now.
for
It's
this,
quite late here
one
now
of
and
which
I have
is
a meeting
kidnapping
tomorrow. Thank you
and
very much
enforced
for this
disappearances,
invitation, and I wish
and
you
later
all the best for this
murder and
conference
army
and
prison
for the
camps.
follow-up activities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eileen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Last week, outside the National Press Club in Islamabad, police brutally tortured students from Balochistan who were protesting against the disappearance of a colleague. But the media considered it as a minor incident and did not cover it. No Pakistani political party reacted to police attack on Baloch students. Baloch students have fled the violent situation in Balochistan and gone to Punjab to study in a peaceful environment, but the land there has also been turned into hell for them. Where they should go now? This is a serious question. According to the Pakistan Constitution, everyone has the right to assemble and demonstrate, but this right is only written on papers. Due to coercive restrictions and strict policy, Pakistan journalists are working for government dignitaries as their personal assistants. Everyone has turned a blind eye to the brutal treatment of the Baloch people since a long time. Military generals and government dignitaries are turning a blind eye to the real issues by creating an atmosphere of fear all over Balochistan. The process of creating an artificial society by stopping evolution is underway. Public politics has become a taboo subject. The character of political parties have been changed, and almost all parties have been given the status of NGOs. There is silence in Balochistan before the storm. Most political leaders are silent about Balochistan affairs. The ground realities are that rulers are trying to solve the political problems of Balochistan in a non-political way. Political talks were announced some time ago, but due to the dislike of military generals, that announcement has been died down. The echo of the drama of setting up a committee to restore peace and rights in Balochistan is no longer heard. A foot march of some people has started from Turbat Makran to Quetta for drawing attention of the oppressive state for recovery of missing persons who have been victim of the repressive state of Pakistan. Public protests have an effect on civilized societies and democratic governments. Nothing has an effect on undemocratic state and savage rulers of Pakistan. For the past several years, the people of Balochistan has been protesting peacefully in various ways. Many of you may remember the peaceful Baloch Long March, which was started on October 27, 2013, and reached Islamabad on February 28, 2014. World record have been made by 72 years old Mama Kadir, 7-year-old Ali Haider, and the sisters, mothers, and brothers of the missing persons who were in the caravan. Participants presented a memorandum to the United Nations office in Islamabad on missing persons issues, targeted killings, enforced disappearances, and the investigation into the role of agencies in their heinous crimes. The petitioners were assured that their application would be immediately forwarded to the Office of the Secretary General in New York and the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in Geneva for follow-up. The Long Marchers were also invited by the European Union office and the US Embassy and expressed solidarity with them for the recovery of the missing persons. But the government of Pakistan did not respond positively to the participants of the Long March who made history with their peaceful protest across the country. The indifference of the Pakistan government to the issue of thousands of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killing in Balochistan is proof that it has no control over the Pakistani army and its criminal agencies. It cannot control the activities of the military and intelligence agencies involved in the heinous crime of forcibly abducting and disappearing thousands of Baloch. Pakistan government is even more neglectful of the existence of mass graves found in Khuzar and other parts of Balochistan. Committee set up to investigate the existence of mass grave have not yet published their findings and reports. In January 2014, 3 mass graves containing at least 169 bodies were found in Thotak area of Khuzar. Meanwhile, the military operation continued unabated and uninterrupted. Many people from different parts of Balochistan have been forcibly abducted by the Pakistan Army during the last few weeks. After the historic and extremely peaceful Long March of 2014, Pakistan's military terrorism has intensified rather than diminishing. Pakistan does not consider itself accountable to any international body. Rather, it considers himself the darling of the world, hence unquestionable for any crime and beyond all international responsibilities. Today, the Baloch people are being forcibly abducted and disappeared on daily basis, regardless of age, profession, and gender. War posts and military camps have been set up in remote areas of Balochistan to spread fear and panic among the people. Outposts have been set up on mountain peak to control and monitor the planes, and helicopters are used for ground communication and transportation. Armed drone strikes are also being carried out in some places. It looks like a long war is being planned, but I would like to say that the Baloch will never give up the ownership rights to their land. They are far beyond the imagination of the Pakistan establishment to defend their motherland and achieve a dignified life. Ladies and gentlemen, I request you to seriously consider what the people of Balochistan should do and where they should go. Their land has been the epicenter of the worst human tragedies, where there is no guarantee of a dignified life. Therefore, we call on the civilized nations and responsible governments of the world to come forward and fulfill their international responsibilities and obligation to help the oppressed Baloch nations and stop this inhuman, immoral, illegal military aggression in Balochistan. We call on the independent media to expose the Baloch genocide, forced abduction, and human rights violation to the world. In the same way, we would like to appeal to the intellectual and writers from all over the world not to leave the oppressed and downtrodden people of Balochistan alone, but to help them with their pen and intellectual writings. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Waja Siddique Azad Baloch.